Anyway, back to Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal. It was a series of economic programs. These were passed by the U.S. Congress during FDR's first presidential term, and he did it in response to the Great Depression. At that time, from during the late 20s to the early 30s, this is response to the state of the financial system where state governors closed every bank in the nation and no one could cash a check or get access to their savings. The unemployment rate was 25% nationwide, but it was even higher in industrial and mining centers, and there was tremendous mortgage foreclosures, and then farm income had fallen too. And so it sounds scarily familiar, and I really do think that we need something drastic done to jumpstart employment once more here in the United States. But anyway, the New Deal's goals were to provide relief, recovery, and reform. And that was relief for unemployed and poor, and the recovery for the economy to return to normal levels, and then a reform for the financial system, and that was done to prevent another depression or a repeat of it. And the legacy, it put a lot of people to work. There was a Civilian Conservation Corps, parks and roads and rural electrification resulted from that. There were also FHA loans and Social Security Administration that was tied to that. And it created new cooperation and a balance between business and labor and government. And then World War II came and took the economy to completely different directions. But for the time, it I guess, created a way to change the economy's kind of downward spiral to more even keel into a new industry or new need for workers came along in the form of the World War. Anyway, a Green New Deal would of course be updated for our existing economic times and social climate. A Green New Deal's focus would be on energy, on food, waste, water, and transportation. The best part of a green economy is that no one entity has controlling interest in it yet. It's neither union nor non-union. It's neither controlled by men or women. And no one country dominates green energy or sustainability yet. There are some countries that are ahead, but there's still room enough for us, the United States, to catch up and take a top position. I do have some recommended reading for the concept of the Green New Deal, and this is Green Collar Economy by Van Jones. That was written 2 years ago, 2008, and it's available through HarperCollins. And then even Wikipedia. And I don't use Wikipedia as the beginning of research. Well, I do use Wikipedia as the beginning of research because often with those articles, there's a long, very, very involved bibliography or endnotes that kind of take the research into a deeper focus. So it's a good place to begin research but not end it. I would say follow the bibliography to get more resources on a Green New Deal. There's also websites specifically focused on the Green New Deal. One is by the Green New Deal Group, and it's greennewdealgroup.org. The other is the New Economics Foundation, and that's neweconomics.org/projects/green-new-deal. There's also another website called Green New Deal. That's greennewdeal.info. And then also another one that I mentioned earlier, and this is Green Jobs, and that's www.greenjobs.com. And then you can also just throw those names, into Google and do a search on those names and see what comes back. And then follow up and see other resources and possibilities of what a Green New Deal could mean to our economic system. In my opinion, the best use of the Green New Deal currently would be to expand our U.S. public transportation system. With Gunnar, I brought up the fact that the United States is outdone by the best system that we have in the United States is in New York, but still New York is not top for public transportation in the world. That goes to Tokyo, Seoul, and then London and Paris and other major cities in the world. But we can update and expand our public transportation system and provide jobs and much needed infrastructure and services at the same time. Also, as part of the Green New Deal, I propose an update of the electrical grid from AC to DC power for more effective and efficient transmission of energy, and to include use of renewable power, and so including solar and wind and hydroelectricity as part of our electrical grid, which is the next step up from the rural electrification that happened with the old Green Deal under FDR. I'm even going to go so far as to propose use of food and waste and water as other ways to expand the Green Deal and create jobs. All of those areas, public transportation, energy, food, waste, and water, could create jobs easily under the Green New Deal. Specifically for Iowa, I'm going to read off an article because I'm thinking we might have to start here at the state level. We can't create a change at the national level. At least we can see what we can do for the state of Iowa. In the business section of the Des Moines Register, Friday, October 22nd, there's an article that says, Vilsack touts new incentives for biofuel industry. And it goes on to say that Vilsack used the National Press Club speech Thursday to call for accelerating development of next-generation biofuels that would be made from crop residue, switchgrass, and other feedstocks beside corn. And so that's another industry that we can look at, and that actually our farmers are already involved with. And let's see. I wanted to mention also, as part of that, a news release from the USDA that there are going to be about 5 regions served for advanced biofuel production. The Northeast Center will be located in Madison, Wisconsin, and led by the Forest Service. The Central East Center will be located in Lincoln, Nebraska, and led by ARS. Southeast Center is going to be in Boonsville, Arkansas, and Tifton, Georgia, and in Auburn, Alabama, led by the Forest Service. The Western Center will be in Maricopa, Arizona, and the Northwestern Center will be in Pullman, Washington, led by ARS, and Corvallis, Oregon, led by the FS. And so that's the power of policy and what policy can do. And so I'm paying attention to things like that for sure. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the election here in Iowa and the questions that were asked. Terry Branstad, our former governor, and then Chet Culver, our current governor, were asked what changes are needed in state tax or regulatory policies to keep Iowa at the forefront of renewable energy production. Terry Branstad's answer: I think it's tragic when we see the Commerce Commission reject opportunities for a clean coal plant in Marshalltown and things like that can create energy of the future. This is Governor Chet Culver's answer. With respect to the electric grid, we just announced a Midwestern governor's agreement to build out the grid, $400 million of investment to build that grid out here in Iowa to create jobs in our state.